I've had plenty of clients have label deals early on, and from all kinds of sizes, people with 90,000 to 5,000 monthly listeners. It just kind of depends on, the virality of your song, how much the label believes in you. And, typically that comes down to an A&R who is pretty much just a talent scout. And everyone thinks the A&R is in charge, but really they're kind of the first introduction and just kind of like the, the account administrator. But anyway, getting to it, a lot of artists, I typically tell them don't sign. Especially if they're trying to make this a long-term career, oftentimes they want a better deal. Well, I need marketing, I need support to blow up. But then, how do I get that? Well, I need to be in a deal to do that. And in order to do that, at the end of the day, when people sign you, they are doing it to make an investment in you. Right. But oftentimes you'll get some labels that do have a reputation for just simply signing everyone in a region or a market, and it's called signing to get market share. Okay. And so they'll sign a bunch of guys who all sound like Yeet, and a bunch of guys who all sound like, Two Hollows or something. And they do that to kind of sample out competition or have their own version of it. But if you're early on in your career, don't sign a deal that's giving you too much money that you can't pay back.
Okay. That's a good one. If you woke up tomorrow as an artist and you had to make it, how would you schedule your next 30 days? What would you do?
If I woke up and I was an artist, so if I made a hit song right now and said, screw being a lawyer.
Yes.
Geez, the song has to be like blowing up and getting millions of streams.
Yeah. How would you schedule the rest of your month or the rest of your year,
All right, so let's make this more realistic, okay? Say you're an artist who views music as a hobby. It's something that you do on the side. You have a job, you're an accountant by day, and you have some good business sense, but you had a hit song, a jingle, and it got 20 million streams in like a week, ridiculous. That's pretty unheard of, but it does happen. So if you're having a big viral moment, you're everywhere, right. Your Chapel Roan kind of deal. I'd say the first thing you do is, one, make sure you have a legal and management team who are there to help you out. The worst thing you could possibly do as an artist is negotiate on your own behalf, just because you're going to be leveraged, pressured into things where you feel like you can't say no, versus, good cop, bad cop situation. Your manager can be the one who plays the bad guy for you. As an artist, I always tell people, try to be in the, public relations, politics standpoint of everything's great. The second thing I'd say is make sure that, whatever investments you're making are smart. The temptations to buy jewelry, the temptations to buy a car, go out to dinner, and, you should celebrate. You should have fun and celebrate, your newfound success, but you should also be ready for the fact that maybe some mistakes will be made. Maybe your next hit won't be as great, And obviously you hope you're just making hit after hit after hit, but there's only a few people who can do that, and even marketing comes into play.
Got it. So what is your opinion about rap, or let's just say music and content creation kind of merging? Are we gonna see more of that? Are we gonna see more streamers put on rappers, or vice versa?
Yeah, so, I'd say that the music scene has changed dramatically. The marketing scene has changed dramatically, really in the last 3 to 5 years. And the reason for that is because people consume content pretty much off their phones.
Right.
And so, I guess back in the day, people would say, oh man, it sucks. In order to be, a musician, you have to be pretty. You have to be good looking, because you also have to be an actor, a model. You have to, sing, dance, act, everything.
You had to sign to Diddy, that's how you got famous back then.
Yeah, well, Harvey Weinstein and everything, go for a 1 a.m. audition at his hotel room.
Yeah, right.
But, realistically, I think a lot of people have to realize it hasn't changed. It's just, instead of being someone who has a manager or a marketer who's going to shove, 1 of 5 artists down people's throats on airwaves through radio play, because back in the day, it used to be radio play. If you had an artist, you get songs on radio stations, because that's how everyone listened to music. Now it's on Spotify. You can listen to anybody, and it's usually people who are listening to the same songs over and over. So how do they find the new people? Well, it's through pages like For the Youth, your big promo pages. And so that's where, you know, the marketing kind of comes into play. I think this relationship, though, is only going to continue, and it's only going to get more and more kind of put together. So as an artist, how do you market your music to sell products? How do you use it to come up with ad campaigns? That's where people make most of their money, is through one hit song being used over and over and over again.
Right.
Like the Black Keys, I think, what was it, almost 20 years ago now, they had this one hit song and everything. The guy used on everything one Christmas cycle. I'm in Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.